Good day, Saint Fabian. This is our lesson 2, Skill Builder, Factoring Polynomials. Now, it is the discussion of factoring polynomials having problems. Okay, we will solve problems involving factors of polynomials. So, just a review again of our factoring polynomials technique, GCMF, difference of two squares, sum and difference of two cubes, perfect square trinomial, and general trinomials. So we have here, as introduction, we can find the dimensions of some figures by factoring polynomials. A polynomial is completely factored out if all factors are prime polynomials. So, ang dimension or yung factors ng isang figure ay malalaman natin pwedeng gamitin ay factoring polynomial. So, paano yon? Let's have this problem set number 1. What you are going to do para mas maunawaan nyo is to analyze the given problem, plan or determine ano ba yung gagawin, solve, use formulas and techniques, and give what is asked. A rectangular painting with a width, yun daw lawak, ito, of y centimeters has an area of y squared plus 25y cm squared. Ang tinatanong, what is the length of the painting? Ano yung haba? And find the binomial that will represent the length. As you can see, we have here the area of rectangle. So, rectangle yung painting. Ang area na is length times width. Ibig sabihin, ang factors niya ay dalawa. Isang length, isang width. Given na yung width natin, hahanapin na lang natin yung length. And para makuha yon, i-divide natin yung given na area sa width natin. So, ibig sabihin, as you can see, since y has y squared and 25y, it can be divided by both terms. Y is the greatest common monomial factor. So, we use common monomial factor here. So, para malaman yung isang factor or yung length, divide natin y squared divided by y is equal to y. 25y divided by y is 25. So, we have y times y plus 25y. So, we factored out y. Okay? So, kapag dinistribute natin to, ito yung magiging sagot. Now, our length is y plus 25 centimeters. Okay? Lalagyan ng symbol. Okay? We have our second problem. The volume of a rectangular prism is 3x cubed plus 9x squared minus 30x cubic centimeters. When we have volume, okay, if the dimensions of the prism are represented by polynomials with integral coefficients, find the dimension of the aquarium. When we say volume, tatlo yung hinahanap dyan. We have the length or yung haba, the width or yung lawak, at yung height, yung taas niya. So, ibig sabihin, ang volume or this expression should have three factors: the width, the height, and the length. Okay? Now, solving this, volume of rectangular prism, length times width times height. So, ito yung factors. Hahanapin natin si length, si width, at si height. Now, write the given volume of 3x cubed plus 9x squared minus 30x cubic centimeters in factored form para malaman natin yung tatlo. Ipa-factor out natin sila. Una, i-check natin kung meron common monomial factor. Pag na-check natin yon, i-analyze natin yung magiging result kung pwede pa siyang i-express in factored form. And then, continue the factoring process. Okay? Until the polynomial factors are prime or wala nang factor kundi siya at yung 1. Now, 3x cubed plus 9x squared minus 30x. Ang common monomial factor niya, we have numerical coefficient 3, 9, and 30. Pwedeng i-divide sa kanilang lahat ay 3. Diba? 3 divided by 3, 1. 9 divided by 3, 3. 30 divided by 3, 10. And then, pare-parehas sila na may variable na x. Again, kapag may variable na pare-pareho, kukuhanin natin yung exponent ng yung variable na may mababang exponent, pinakamababang exponent. We have 1 dito. Okay? So we have our common monomial factor is 3x. Now, dahil may common monomial factor na tayo, hanapin natin yung isa pang factor by dividing it from this. Okay? Divide 3x cubed divided by 3x, we will get x squared. 9x squared divided by 3x, we will get 3x. And negative 30x divided by 3x, we will get negative 10. Now, analyze if the result can still be expressed in factored form. Pwede pa ba kaya itong i-factor out? So, we will have x plus 5 times x minus 2 as factors of x squared plus 3x minus 10. Okay? Now, dahil na-factored out pa natin siya, and this one, wala na silang ibang factor, kundi 1 at sila, yun na yung magiging other factors natin. Now, the factored form of the given polynomial, letter F, polynomial is 3x, ito, times x plus 5 times x minus 2. So, kapag multiply natin to, ito yung magiging sagot niya. Okay? Now, we have 3x centimeters by x plus 5 centimeters by x minus 2 centimeters. Okay? Now, we have Mr. Mandy pasted his art piece with an area of 25y squared. Ito yung art piece. 25y squared down. To a cardboard with an area of 49x squared square inches. 49 daw to, yung cardboard. Express the area of the border in factored form. Ano daw yung area ng border? So, para malaman yon, yung area ng malaking square ay isusubtract natin sa area ng maliit na square or ng painting. Now, we have, can be obtained by subtracting. Okay, can be written as 49x squared minus 25y squared. As you can see, ang ginamit natin dito is difference of two squares. Two squares, perfect square to, and perfect square to, and minus sign. Difference of two squares. Now, to get the factors, we will just get the square root of the first term and the square root of the last term, and our factors is 1 positive, 1 negative. Okay? We have square root of 49x squared is 7x. Square root of 25y squared is 5y. So, since difference of two squared, we have x and x plus and minus. Okay? So, this is the factored form, okay, of the border or the dimension of the border. Okay? Now, the area of a rectangle is 2 m squared minus 5m minus 14 square inches. Sabi, this area is increased by adding 5 inches to both the length and the width. Mag-i-increase daw siya pag in-add ng 5 ang length at ang width. What are the dimensions of the new rectangle given that the dimensions of the original rectangle are represented by binomials with integral coefficients? So, para malaman natin to, pag a-add tayo ng 5, hindi natin i-add agad dito. Kukuhanin muna natin yung dimension ng rectangle. Okay? To know the dimension, for the polynomial, to find the dimensions of the original rectangle, we have to get the factors of m squared minus 5m minus 40, or the length and the width. So, we have m minus 7 and m plus 2. Pag pinag-multiply mo to, ang sagot ay ito. Now, sabi, mag-a-add daw sa length and sa width ng 5. So, add natin. We have, add natin. We have m minus 7 plus 5 and then m plus 2 plus 5. We have negative 7 plus 5, negative 2. 2 plus 5 is 7. So we have m minus 2 and m plus 7 as the dimension of our new rectangle. Okay? Now, suppose the dimensions of a rectangle can be written in binomials with integral coefficients. Does the rectangle with the area of 25a squared plus 60ab plus 36b squared square millimeters form a square? If so, what is the measure of each side of the square? So, makakabuo kaya daw ito ng square, yung area na to? So, tingnan natin. So, the given polynomial is a trinomial. Okay? The trinomial should be a perfect square trinomial to be able to form a square. Dapat daw perfect square to. Check natin. First term, we have 25a squared. Square root niya is 5a, so we have a perfect square. Second term, we have 60ab is equal to, dapat daw twice ng square root ni first term and square root ni last term. So we have 60ab, 2 times 5a times 6b. So 2 times 5 times 6 is 60ab. And last term is a perfect square also. Okay, so we have a perfect square trinomial. Yes po, it can form a square. Now, what is the measure of each side? To determine that, all conditions were satisfied, therefore it is a perfect square. So we can say it forms a square. Now, that the area of a square is solved by side times side. Ibig sabihin, iisa yung measurement ng kada side. We may express a perfect square trinomial to identify the measure of each side of the square. So, dahil perfect square trinomial siya, ang gagawin lang natin, get the square root of the first term and get the square root of the last term and then put the square there. And that will be our answer. So, our side is 5a plus 6b millimeters. Don't forget the sign or the unit. Okay? So, 5a yung square root ni 25a squared and 6b ang square root ni 36b squared. Now, for the problem number 6, a glass cubic container can hold 64 cubic centimeter of water. Inside the glass container is a metallic cube with a volume of 27b cubic centimeter. How much water will you be able to pour the glass container with the metallic cube inside? Express your answer in factored form. Sabi merong malaking glass container. Tapos merong metallic cube sa loob. Gaano karami yung tubig na malalagay kapag merong ganon sa loob? So, para malaman ano yung volume nun, we have to get the difference of these two cubes. So, we have, okay, the total volume of the glass can hold is decreased by the volume of the metallic, nabawasan. We can represent as 64a cube minus 27b cube. Now, as you can see, binomial is a difference of two cubes. So we can express it in factored form, which is, first one, the cube root of the first term, 4a, cube root of the second term, 3b, copy the sign. And then our other factor, get the square of the first term, multiply the first term and the second term, and get the opposite sign, and get the square of the last term, we have 9b squared. So, the glass container with the metallic cube inside can be filled with 4a minus 3b times 6a squared plus 12ab plus 9b squared cubic centimeters. Now, for your activity number 5, read and analyze the following problems to find what is asked. So, it will serve as your activity number 5. Okay, kindly take a screenshot, but I will also send the PowerPoint presentation.